Hey, thank you for coming by. Tory Magoo 44. Today is the 28th. It's Sunday, the 28th of October 2012, and I'm still doing the shocking truth on the Church of Scientology. And just so you know, a wonderful person made a playlist of the shocking truths, and I'm going to try to put that in the notes. So if you want to check it out, you can. It's pretty cool. If I could figure out how to do it, I will. But anyway, thank you to the person who did. I really appreciate it. So this is a shocking truth on two things, because we're almost at the end of the shocking truths. So it's Scientology and basically how they fleece in children, or young people, I shouldn't say children, but young people, young adults, and businesses. I'm going to do both of those, because those are two things that Scientology is really working on, really wanting to get into Scientology, and I'll tell you why. Okay, the kids, number one, often I got in at 22, and I consider that a kid. I'm 65 years old, so, for me, 22 is a kid. I mean, for 22-year-olds, they're like, hey, I'm not a kid. But, yes, you are. And be happy you are, because it's a good time of your life. So have a lot of sex, have a lot of fun, and plan out your future. You know what I mean? Do stuff. I mean, have safe sex, but have good sex. That's my opinion. That's the way I feel. I think it's a good idea. I did it. It was a good idea, and I got married at 27. And I like that. Not too young, because, then you have some time, and then you can have a nice long marriage and be happy. That's my theory. But anyway, and I'm sticking with it too. I would still be married, except I escaped out of Church of Scientology, and my husband stayed in. So there you go on that. But a couple of things you have to know is that the Church of Scientology is very much after younger people. A couple of reasons why. Number one, most young people are they do still have kind of open minds, and they're looking for cool things, and Scientology knows how to trick them into it, right? My thing, I got into it because I wanted to help people, and I thought, all right, this is it. Now, even as I've said, even after I hitchhiked from Chicago to Los Angeles to do it, because at the back of the book it said Dianetics in St. Hill, England, or in American St. Hill in LA, and I thought, all right, looks like I'm going. So I did, but once I got up there, it was awful. It wasn't what I thought it was, and had I listened to my first instincts, I would have never gone in. There's a great book I've told you guys over and over to read, Blink. I can't say it enough. Read it. It's fabulous. For your whole life, it's a good book to read, just for tools. Okay, so for young kids, you have to know they're trying to stop you from looking on the internet, and right away that should be your number one red flag. I mean, why are people stopping you from looking on the internet? This is the internet. It's like worldwide, international. Anybody who's trying to stop people from looking on the internet, it's a little fishy. Now, I can see people like parents trying to make sure their kids don't get into weird stuff on the internet. But we're talking about people that were in Scientology for 10, 20, 30 years, most of their adult life, and have now woken up and left, escaped out like myself, and have told their stories. One of them is Blown for Good. Mark Headley wrote a book. Amy Scobie was a top executive, wrote a book. Jeff Hawkins was an executive in Scientology, wrote a book, Counterfeit Dreams. All of these books are really good, as well as the earlier ones, which are like Ben Corridon, L. Ron Hubbard, Messiah or Madman. There's a whole reading list over on xenu.net, xenu.net. But I really recommend you start reading and educate yourself on both sides. Because until you're really educated on what is a cult, it's very easy for people to snag you in. It just is. That's just the way it is. Now, you can search on my site for what is a cult, and I did a 10-part series on what is, or I think it's a 9-part, but it's a whole long series on what is a cult. And it's good to know. It really is, for a number of different reasons. But it's just good. Education is a fabulous thing. Speaking of that, for young people, make sure you get trained in something. Don't think you're going to work for Wise and think it's going to be okay. Wise basically takes young kids, gives them a big title, and that's it. That's the rest of your life. You're there as the director of communications. What is that? Nothing, basically. It's a very low-paying job. It's kind of like slave labor, really, for them. They're out making good money, having fun, and you're there working. Excuse me. So that's how WISE connects into this, because I want kids to know working for a WISE company is not a career. You need to find something that you like to do for the rest of your life. I'm going to put a link in here from Steve Jobs. Whether you like him or not, I want you to listen to it. It's a great, just a little 4-minute thing of what he talks about as far as this kind of thing. Finding something you love and, getting trained in it. So definitely do that. And try, if you're in, I know it's spooky watching somebody on the internet because they've built in these fears in you, but you're strong enough, you're young, just realize, come on, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? It's just not true. We're not scary. I'm scary? Please. Come on. Come on. I mean, even Scientologists, staff, I'm scary? I mean, what TR0 is like, the communication course has the basic tools that you should be able to apply to confront me, at least. And the very fact that you can't is frightening. It really is. And to anyone that's thinking of joining Scientology, that should be your first cue. That they're terrified of me. I can set my feet on L. Ron Hubbard Way, and they have it vacuumed out in about 3 minutes. We've counted. In Ireland, it was under 1 minute. Anonymous went, she shut it down less than a minute. I love Anonymous that fights the Church of Scientology and helps expose it. I really do. They're fabulous. Okay, so there's the kids. And then for businesses, make sure you do not get suckered into that, because that's another thing. David Miscavige is after money. That's it. That's all he wants. That's why they're building all these ideal orgs, because they figure, people do. They see big orgs. Wow, they must be doing well. I mean, it gives that impression. They must be doing well. No one thinks about the fact that they're empty. There's nobody in them. You don't see people coming in and out like in the old days. It isn't like that. These are buildings. That's it. So for people with businesses, hold on to your business. They will not 3x your stats. They say they do. They'll show you all kinds of things for promising it, but it costs a ton of money, and they're basically just fleecing businesses. And their whole intention is to get you over onto the bridge to total freedom, which I'm laughing because it is not a bridge to total freedom. It is a bridge into a ditch. And you have to know the higher up you go, the more they are cutting off your freedoms. Okay, the more you can't read, the more you can't talk to people, because you have to be very secure to get onto the next OT level. It's such a con. It really is. So if you're young, if you're a business person, woman or man, please, all I'm saying is look and read and listen to both sides and learn both sides before you ever even go in there, because they're very good at what they're doing and trapping people. So do not get caught up in Scientology. And that is the shocking truth about kids, the Church of Scientology, kids, and businesses. All right, so there you go. Peace out. I love you guys, and happy Halloween if I don't talk to you beforehand, which I probably will. But anyway, I love you. Bye-bye.